Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of The Sauce. Not a great Tuesday night for me. Bets on the website went 1-2, and honestly, I was kind of lucky to go 1-2. Celtics were covering all game, and the Pacers brought it back and made it close at the end, and then barely hung on for the cover. So I went 1-2 on the website. Probably should have went 0-3. And then in the Discord, I bet the Sixers right before tip-off, and they lost as well. So overall, not a great night for me, but I didn't go crazy. This wasn't the best slate. Wednesday, we got 10 games to talk about. Let's go.
Welcome to The Sauce. The Sauce. Sauce. Hey, get the sauce.
First up, Detroit Pistons, the red hot Detroit Pistons on the road in Cleveland here. Cavs are laying 11.5 points at home. The total sitting at 228.5. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet, and according to the model, pretty much right on point with where the sportsbooks have it. Final score 121-108 Cavs. Injuries on the Detroit side. Pistons most likely getting Cade Cunningham back on the floor for this one. He's listed as probable. He did come back for the Wizards game a few days back. He played 35 minutes, but then he sat on Sunday in the Oklahoma City game. Looks like he'll be out there. Isaiah Stewart will not, though. He's been ruled out. Good news on the Cleveland side. Not only is Evan Mobley back, he came back on Monday night against the Clips, but Darius Garland may be back for this one. He's listed as questionable. This could potentially be the first time Cleveland's at full strength in almost 2 full months. As far as the betting spot, I guess I'd give the slight edge to the Pistons, but only because Cleveland's on a back-to-back and they immediately travel to Memphis. The reason I'd say slight edge is because this is a division game for the Cavs. This game against the Pistons is more important for Cleveland than a road game against a Western Conference team. So really no edge here on the spot. Let's talk betting trends, and all positive on the Detroit side. 7-1 against the spread in their last 8 overall, 3-1 against the spread in their last 4 on the road, 7-1 against the spread in their last 8 versus the Eastern Conference. If you've been betting the Pistons, you've been making money. But you know what? Same goes for Cleveland. 9-2 against the spread in their last 11, 10-3 against the spread in their last 13 at home, 8-1 against the spread in their last 9 versus the East. These are 2 of the hottest teams against the spread in the NBA. In this particular head-to-head matchup, it's been all Cavs. Pistons are just 1-4-1 against the spread in their last 6 against Cleveland. The under is 6-0 in those games. So 6 straight unders in Cavs-Pistons games. Detroit is also 4-11 against the spread in their last 15 trips to Cleveland. So in this matchup, it's been Cavs and under. So let's match these 2 teams up on the court. We'll start with the Pistons offense. Actually got a positive angle here for Detroit. So the Pistons have been shooting a lot of mid-range shots. They're 7th in shot frequency from the mid-range in the last 10 games. It's actually been the only weak spot of the Cleveland defense in the last 10 games. 29th in frequency, 15th in efficiency for the Cavs. After that, though, I'd have to say the edge goes to the Cavs defense. Pistons are definitely going to have trouble getting second chance points in this one. 21st in offensive rebounding rate in the last 10. Cleveland's defense first. Also, Detroit loves to attack the basket, take a lot of shots in the paint. Cleveland's been great down there, and now that Evan Mobley's back, they should only get better. In the last 10 games, they're 4th and 3rd in frequency and efficiency. On the other side of the ball, here's where it gets a little interesting, because Detroit's played some solid defense against three-point shooting, and as we know, Cleveland lives and dies by the 3 ball. You can see Cleveland offensively in the last 10 games, 2nd in frequency and 12th in efficiency from the above the break 3. Detroit defense, 7th and 17th. Look at the corner 3 numbers, 11th and 8th in frequency and efficiency for Cleveland. Detroit defense 5th and 6th. So the Pistons have been playing some good defense out on the perimeter. This might not be the easiest matchup for Cleveland. All that being said, I would love to bet the Pistons. I've been betting the Pistons here and there recently. I had the money line against the Thunder hit big on Sunday. The problem is Cleveland just owns this team. They always beat up on this team. I don't think I want to lay the 11.5, though. There's 10 games on the board. I'm not going to force anything. I'll say Cleveland or pass, but I really don't like this one. Next game. Clippers are on the road in D.C. to play the Wizards. Washington catching 12.5 points at home with the total sitting at 238.5. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet. And according to the model, we're looking at a close game, a close Clippers win here. 117-114 Clips. Let's talk injuries. Clippers in pretty good shape here with the exception of Zubats. He's going to miss another one. He's been out since January 12th, so we're coming up on 3 weeks now. On the Washington side, we got nothing. The Washington Wizards are completely healthy. As I'm recording this, not a single injury designation. As far as the betting spot here, really no lean either way. Both of these teams are on one-day rest. Neither have a back-to-back. The Clippers are in the middle of a 7-game road trip. This is their 4th game of 7, so maybe a slight lean to Washington, but pretty much a wash there. Let's talk betting trends, and obviously, as we know, the Clips have been paying out. You've been betting the Clippers. You've been making money. 18-8 against the spread in their last 26 overall. The under is 5-1 in their last 6. So Clippers unders have been hitting. Clips are also 4-2 against the spread in their last 6 games against the Eastern Conference. On the Wizards side, Washington actually 6-4-1 against the spread in their last 11. So the Wizards have been all right. Just 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 at home, though. Wizards on the road has been a hot ticket. Not so much at home. They're 6-4 against the spread in their last 10 against the West, though, so they've played the West tough. In this particular matchup, the Clippers have owned the Wizards. Clips are 11-2 against the spread in their last 13 meetings with the Wizards. The over is 12-3 in the last 15 matchups between these two teams. Clippers are also 4-2 against the spread in their last six trips to DC. So the Clips have also been beaten up on them on the road as well. So let's match these two teams up on the court. Clips definitely have the edge on the offensive glass here. They're 9th in offensive rebounding rate in the last 10 games. Washington's defense, the interior has been the weakness of the Washington defense this whole season. You can see in the last 10 games, 28th in defensive rebounding rate. And the Clippers rebounding numbers surprisingly haven't really dipped without Zubats either, so should be plenty of second chance opportunities here for the Clips. The positive angle for the Wizards defense, though, they've just overall been better. On the season, they're 28th in overall defensive efficiency. In the last 10 games, they're 7th. In the last 5 games, they're 10th. So the Wizards have been playing some pretty good defense recently. That being said, in the last 10 games, the Wizards' strength of schedule, 29th. So they've had a little bit of an easy stretch of schedule, but still, let's give the Wizards some credit. They've been playing some defense. On the other side of the ball, I actually got an angle for the Wizards offense that I like. They attack the rim a lot, the 3rd highest shot frequency at the rim in the NBA in the last 10 games. It's kind of a weak spot for the Clippers defense, especially without Zubats on the floor. 19th in frequency, 25th in efficiency at the rim in the last 10 games for the Clippers defense. Also, what else do we know about this Wizards offense? They love to push the tempo. They're 5th in frequency, 4th in efficiency as far as the fast break goes. Clippers haven't been that good defensively in transition. 17th in frequency, 22nd in efficiency. As far as betting this game, I know some of those trends are scary. Wizards haven't been that good at home. The Clippers have absolutely owned the Wizards. But I like the way this Washington team's playing. This is a relatively meaningless game for the Clips. I'm taking the points here. I'm going to play the Wizards at 12.5. I didn't bet this yet. I don't know what the line's going to do, but I'll bet it right when I'm done recording. Give me Washington plus 12.5 next game. Bulls are on the road in Charlotte. Hornets catching 2.5 points at home. The total sitting at 218. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet. We're looking at a 4-point Bulls win according to the model. 116-112 Chicago. Let's talk injuries. Bulls are still going to be missing Zach LaVine from the lineup. Torrey Craig and Patrick Williams both still out as well for Chicago. On the Charlotte side, Hornets are pretty banged up here, and they have been all year. Gordon Hayward out, Kyle Lowry out, Mark Williams still out. LaMelo Ball may not play in this game. He's listed as questionable. Miles Bridges is listed as probable. This team's been a mess all year injury-wise. As far as the situation, you'd have to give the advantage to Charlotte here. Bulls obviously just played a game last night, a disgusting game. Wow. On the season, Bulls are 3-5 against the spread and straight up on 0 days rest. Meanwhile, the Hornets 1 day rest, coming off a loss to the Knicks. So yeah, I'd say a favorable spot for Charlotte. As far as betting trends, Chicago 4-2 against the spread in their last 6 overall. 3-2 against the spread in their last 5 versus the Eastern Conference. On the Charlotte side, these are pretty ugly looking. 2-11 against the spread in their last 13. 1-6 against the spread in their last 7 at home. 1-9 against the spread in their last 10 against the Eastern Conference. As far as betting this game, I'm just going to skip this one for now. Obviously, at a short number like 2.5, you'd lean Chicago, but what I saw last night, I watched most of that Bulls-Raptors game. I just watched Chicago get beat up at home by a Raptors team that was 1-9 in their last 10, and they were missing Quickly, RJ Barrett, and Jakob Poeltl. So, that was just an embarrassing performance. So, I don't know if I could put my money on the Bulls right now, so I guess I'll say Bulls are pass. We'll talk about it on the live show at 4 p.m. next game. Kings are on the road down in South Beach to play the Heat. Miami catching a point here at home. The total sitting at 229. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet, and we're looking at a 3-point Kings win according to the model. Final score 114-111 Sacramento. As far as injury reports, we got nothing for Sacramento. The Kings are completely healthy right now. Miami is in pretty good shape injury-wise themselves. They are going to be missing Duncan Robinson, though. He's been ruled out. As far as the betting spot here, I mean, you got two teams on complete opposite trajectories. Kings coming off 4 straight wins. They're on a road trip. Heat coming off 7 straight losses. So things are looking up for the Kings. Things are looking definitely down for the Heat. Let's talk betting trends. Sacramento 6-3-1 against the spread in their last 10. 7-2-1 against the spread in their last 10 on the road. 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 against the Eastern Conference. So good looking trends there for Sacramento. On the Miami side, I mean, this is just disgusting. 0-7 against the spread in their last 7. They've lost 7 straight, as we just discussed. 0-4 against the spread in their last 4 at home. 2-6 against the spread in their last 8 against the Western Conference. As far as this particular head-to-head matchup, Sacramento's definitely gotten the better of the Heat. Miami just 3-9 against the spread in their last 12 games against the Kings. They're also just 2-4 against the spread in their last 6 home games against the Kings. So Sacramento really hasn't had a problem going on the road into Miami. In their last 5 matchups, the over is 4-1. So let's match these two teams up on the court. We'll start with the Kings offense. Should have plenty of opportunities to shoot the outside shot here from the corner and the above the break 3. You can see the Heat have really struggled against the corner 3. Kings happen to take a lot of those. Guys like Harrison Barnes, Trey Lyles might be a sneaky spot to play their overs, or like a 3-point ladder with one of those two guys. Heat have also really struggled against the above the break 3 as well. In their last 5 games, just 21st in frequency, 23rd in efficiency. And of course, as we know, Kings love shooting threes from all over. Corner, above the break, doesn't matter. Actually, Miami's best defensive numbers recently have been protecting the basket, 3rd in frequency and 6th in efficiency in the last 10 games, which is almost the opposite of what the Heat defensive numbers were doing earlier in the year. But that's almost a little bit insignificant here because the Kings almost never attack the rim, just 27th in shot frequency at the basket in their last 10 games. There are a couple positive angles for the Heat defense, though. Sacramento should have trouble getting to the foul line, just 22nd in offensive free throw rate in the last 10. Heat defensively 5th. Also, we know this Sacramento offense loves to push the pace and get out in the fast break, 7th in frequency on the season. One thing we have to give the Miami Heat credit for, they've been great defensively in transition, 7th in frequency, 6th in efficiency. On the other side of the court, we got the Miami offense. Well, for starters, we know they take a ton of those short mid-range shots, those paint shots. They're 1st in frequency, 4th in efficiency. That's on the season. Kings defense have really struggled from that shot zone, 27th in frequency, 25th in efficiency on the season. So Miami should be able to get those short little mid-range shots they love from Butler, Bam Adebayo. Heat also have been shooting a ton of those corner threes. They're 2nd in frequency in the last 10 games. Kings, just like the Heat defense, they've struggled defending the corner three. So same exact handicap on both sides there. But there are definitely positive angles for the Kings defense here. Number one being probably not going to be many second chance opportunities for the Heat on offense. Just 24th in offensive rebounding rate on the year. Kings defense 1st. Kings have been the best defensive rebounding team in the NBA this year. Also, the Miami offense has had problems protecting the basketball recently in the last 10 games, 22nd in turnover rate. Kings defense in the last 10 games, 10th in forced turnover rate. So the Kings defense should be able to force some turnovers. Miami also not getting to the free throw line at all recently, just 26th in free throw rate in the last 10 games. Kings defense 11th. So there's a couple positive angles for the Heat offense, but mostly more positive angles for the Kings defense here. As far as betting this game, I mean, you already know there's no way I'm going to try to catch this falling knife with the Heat. This team's in a tailspin, 7 losses in a row. And I mean, we know Eric Spoelstra, coach, they have some talent. I mean, we know they're going to snap out of it at some point, and maybe this is the game that they turn things around, but I'm not paying to see it. That's for sure. Kings most profitable road team in the NBA this year, again, because they were last year as well. So yeah, I'm down to lay the point. Give me Kings -1 next game. Orlando Magic on the road in San Antonio. Spurs are catching 5 points at home, and the total sitting at 228.5. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet, and according to the model, we're looking at a very close Orlando win. Final score 114-112 Magic. As far as injuries, Orlando is at full strength with the exception of Gary Harris. He's been ruled out. He's been out. That's not new. He's been out for about a full month now. On the San Antonio side, a couple question marks here. Keldon Johnson and Zach Collins both listed as questionable. Starting 5 should be good to go, though, for the Spurs. Let's talk betting trends. Orlando 5-6 against the spread in their last 11 overall. 9-4 against the spread in their last 13 on the road. So the Magic have been good on the road. 11-6 against the spread against the Western Conference this season. On the San Antonio side, we got a couple nice ones here. 11-4 against the spread in their last 15. The Spurs have been covering the number. 5-2 against the spread in their last 7 at home. 8-3 against the spread in their last 11 versus the Eastern Conference. So some nice looking trends there for San Antonio. In this particular head-to-head matchup, Orlando has definitely struggled. The Magic are just 2-9 against the spread in their last 9 games against the Spurs. 0-3 against the spread in their last 3 trips to San Antonio. The over is 8-2 in the last 10 matchups between the Magic and Spurs. So a lot of overs. So let's match these two teams up on the court, and a couple mismatches jump right out for the Magic offensively. Should have plenty of second chance opportunities here. 5th in offensive rebounding rate in the last 10 games. Spurs defense just 25th. And basically, Orlando should be scoring points at the basket this whole game. On the season, Orlando's first in rim frequency. No team has taken more percentage of their shots at the basket than the Orlando Magic. Spurs defensively have struggled down there all year. Wembanyama's been good protecting the rim, but the Spurs as a whole haven't. Spurs defense 24th in frequency, 19th in efficiency at the basket this season. On the other side of the ball, though, Spurs should also have the edge on the offensive glass. They're 10th in offensive rebounding rate. Orlando 22nd on the defensive side, so maybe some second chance opportunities for San Antonio as well. Turnovers may be an issue, though. The Spurs have had problems protecting the basketball this year. 22nd in turnover rate. The Magic are 2nd in forced turnover rate defensively, so Magic should be able to force some of those. As far as betting this game, Orlando just let me down in a big way on the road in Memphis. That was on Friday night, and I had Magic -5 as one of my top bets. That was the night I got crushed, so maybe I'm walking into the same sort of loss, but Orlando's just a way better team. They're healthy. They've been banged up, and I really think Orlando's going to be a decent bet, a decent team to bet down the stretch. 5 is a short enough number for me to try it again, so super square. I'm doing it again. Orlando -5 next game. Dallas Mavericks on the road in Minnesota here. T-Wolves are laying 13.5 points at home, and if you don't know why, you're about to find out when we talk about injuries. Total sitting at 224.5. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet, and according to the model, we're looking at a comfortable Minnesota win. 122-109 T-Wolves according to the model. Let's talk injuries, and for Dallas, everyone. The entire starting 5 is most likely sitting for this one. Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, Exum, Derek Jones Jr., Derek Lively, all most likely out for this game. On the Minnesota side, we do have Mike Conley listed as questionable, but other than that, T-Wolves should be at full strength for this one. Let's talk betting trends, and Dallas 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 overall. They have been good on the road recently, though. 7-4 against the spread in their last 11 on the road. Just 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 conference games. 1-5 against the spread in their last 6 versus the West. On the Minnesota side, T-Wolves just 2-4 against the spread in their last 6. Check this out. 4-9-1 against the spread in their last 14 at home. Everyone looks at the Minnesota record at home and they think that the T-Wolves are a bet-on team at home. That trend's been dead since December. I mean, that trend's been dead for a while now. Just 4-9-1 in their last 14 at home. 4-2 against the spread in their last 6 versus the Western Conference. Obviously, you already know I'm skipping this one for now. There's no chance I will lay that big of a number with Minnesota right now at home. I mean, maybe for fun, I'll put down a Dallas money line bet or something, but no, this is a pass for me. We'll talk about it on the live show, but I have no interest in this. Next game. New Orleans on the road in Houston here. Rockets catching 2.5 points at home, and the total sitting at 230.5. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet, and according to the model, Rockets should win this one outright. 119-114 Houston here, final score. Let's talk injuries. Pelly should be without Herb Jones in this one. He's listed as questionable. That's a new one, too. Herb Jones has only missed 3 games this entire season. Other than that, New Orleans should be good to go, though. Houston's in pretty good shape injury-wise. They're still missing Tyree Eason. He's been out for a while now. I think he's been out for about a month now. Other than that, Rockets are healthy, though. Betting trends up next. Pelly's 4-5 against the spread in their last 9 overall. 2-3 against the spread in their last 5 on the road. 2-4 against the spread in their last 6 versus the Western Conference. On the Houston side, 4-1 against the spread in their last 5. 5-3 against the spread in their last 8 at home, and just 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 against the Western Conference. As far as this particular matchup, New Orleans has definitely gotten the better of the Rockets. Houston just 5-11-1 against the spread in their last 17 matchups against New Orleans. 6 straight unders here. So the under is 6-0 in the last 6 Rockets-Pelicans matchups. Houston 4-7-1 against the spread in their last 12 home games against the Pelicans. So New Orleans hasn't really had problems coming into Houston either. So let's match these two teams up on the court, and right off the bat, Pelicans should have plenty of opportunities from the foul line in this one. 5th in offensive free throw rate on the season. Houston, one of the worst in that category defensively, 29th on the year. As we know, the Pelicans love to shoot the mid-range shot. Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum, in the last 5 games, they're 6th in mid-range frequency. That's been an area of struggle for Houston's defense. On the year, Houston is 21st in frequency, 26th in efficiency defending the mid-range shot. On the other side of the court, Houston offense, positive angle, Houston doesn't turn the ball over much, and New Orleans doesn't force turnovers, so should be a maximum amount of possessions on that front for Houston. Rockets have also been attacking the rim a lot. In the last 10 games, they're 1st in shot frequency at the rim. Pelicans haven't been great down there. In the last 10 games, they've been limiting opponents' shot opportunities down there, 10th in frequency, but just 26th in efficiency. So Rockets should be able to score at the basket in this one. Rockets have also taken a lot of above the break threes. In fact, that's pretty much the only spots the Houston Rockets shoot from. It's either an above the break 3 or a shot at the rim. They're 8th in frequency in the last 10 games. It's a major weakness for the Pelicans defense pretty much all season, but if you look at the last 10 games, 29th in frequency, 23rd in efficiency, so Houston should be able to hit some outside shots in this one. As far as betting this game, this is a tough one for me. Model says take Houston, right? The model says Houston wins outright. It's also a favorable matchup for Houston's offense on paper, but this Pelicans team just needs a win so bad. I mean, they haven't caught a break. Look at their last 3 games. Oklahoma City, at Milwaukee, at Boston, all in a row. I mean, now they finally get a winnable game against the Rockets. They really need this one in a short line at 2.5. I really think the Pelicans are a much better team, so it sucks. This is, give me the Pelicans minus 2.5. I hate it as I'm saying it. Next game. Denver on the road in Oklahoma City here. Thunder are laying 1.5 points at home, and the total sitting at 228.5. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet, and according to the model, we're looking at a 4-point Thunder win. Final score 114-110 Oklahoma City. Injuries. Denver still without Strother. He's been out for a while now. Jokic is actually on the injury report for the Nuggets, but he's listed as probable, so I don't think there's anything to worry about there. On the Oklahoma City side, Thunder have injuries everywhere here. Isaiah Joe is listed as out. Jalen Williams has been ruled out. SGA, Lou Dort, and Chet Holmgren all listed as questionable. Kind of tough to make a prediction with that kind of injury report here. Betting trends, and these are disgusting on the Nuggets side. Denver just 6-11-1 in their last 18 overall. 6 straight unders. So if you've been betting unders in Denver games, you're cashing. Look at this. Denver 1-6-1 against the spread in their last 8 on the road. 1-5 to the under in the last 6 on the road. Just 3-8 against the spread in their last 11 games versus the Western Conference. On the Oklahoma City side, obviously they don't look nearly as bad. 4-5 against the spread in their last 9 overall. 16-6 against the spread at home this year. 10-5 against the spread in their last 15 versus the Western Conference. I'm skipping this one for now. Obviously, I can't make a bet with that many question marks. We'll talk about it on the live show at 4 p.m. I definitely want to bet this game. This should be a good one. I really doubt I would take Denver on the road here, so I'd probably lean Oklahoma City, but I don't want to make any final decisions yet, so pass for now. Next game. Phoenix on the road in Brooklyn here. Nets catching 3.5 points at home. The total sitting at 232.5. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet, and according to the model, the Nets should win outright, 115-112 Brooklyn. Injuries on the Phoenix side. Suns are completely healthy with the exception of Grayson Allen. He's listed as questionable for this one. On the Brooklyn side, Nets are close to getting Day'Ron Sharpe back. Not quite yet, though. He's listed as doubtful. Dorian Finney-Smith has also been ruled out for this game. Ben Simmons is listed as probable. He's not in this graphic, but obviously he came back last game. Almost had a triple-double, too. He's listed as probable. As far as the betting spot here, you got both teams on 1-day rest. Obviously, the Suns have been hot. They've won 8 of their last 10. This is their 5th game of a 7-game road trip. Nets are on the final game of a 5-game homestand, so really no edge there. Betting trends on the Phoenix side: 4-3 against the spread in their last 7, 1-7 to the under. So the under is 7-1 in the last 8 Phoenix games, 5-4 against the spread in their last 9 on the road, just 3-9 against the spread in their last 12 against the Eastern Conference. On the Brooklyn side, Nets are 3-3 against the spread in their last 6 overall, 14, 8-2 against the spread at home this year, just 5-12 against the spread against the Western Conference. In this particular head-to-head matchup, Suns have struggled against the Nets. Phoenix just 6-11 against the spread in their last 17 games against Brooklyn, 3-5 against the spread in their last 8 trips to Brooklyn. So let's match these two teams up on the court, and we'll start with the Suns offense. First thing that jumps right out here, turnovers. Phoenix has had problems protecting the basketball all year. On the season, they're 26th in turnover rate. Now, the Brooklyn defense as a whole, 27th in forced turnover rate. But if you look at the last 5 games, they're 3rd. So the Nets have done a good job of creating some turnovers recently. Could be an issue here for the Suns. As we know, this Suns team loves shooting the mid-range shot. On the season, they're 2nd in frequency, 1st in efficiency. Probably the best mid-range shooting team in the NBA. Nets have been pretty good at defending it. In the last 10 games, they're 8th in frequency, 9th in efficiency. So the Nets have done a good job against that. Suns have also taken a lot of short mid-range shots. That's labeled as paint. 11th in frequency, 5th in efficiency in the last 10 games. Nets have been good defensively there as well. In the last 10 games, they're 2nd in defensive efficiency against the short mid-range shot. So Nets defense is a tough matchup for Phoenix. On the other side of the ball, the Brooklyn offense, as we know, the Nets shoot a ton of threes. They're 4th in frequency in the last 10 from the corner three. Suns have really struggled defending the corner three. 28th in frequency, 23rd in efficiency. Above the break threes, Nets are 10th in frequency on the year. That's been another area of struggle for Phoenix. 16th in frequency, 26th in efficiency. So that's offense, a tough matchup for Phoenix as well. Brooklyn also has an edge on the offensive glass here, and that should even get more of a boost with Ben Simmons back on the floor. On the season, they're 8th in offensive rebounding rate. Suns defensively just 21st. Suns defense also doesn't create turnovers, just 23rd on the year in forced turnover rate. Brooklyn's offense, 8th. So there's a lot of angles pointing towards Brooklyn here. How do we not take them? I mean, it's a bad matchup for the Suns. Nets are showing signs of life at home, catching points. Brooklyn's clearly the sharp move here. The only thing that worries me, Kevin Durant's return to Brooklyn. And you know how Durant is. He doesn't want to get shown up in his return to Brooklyn. But that's the only angle I like for Phoenix. I like the Nets defense, how it matches up against the Suns. And I like how the Nets offense matches up against the Suns. So I'm going to take the Nets at plus 3.5. But honestly, I think the better bet would be the under. Let me see, get you an updated line. It was at, 1 second. I don't want to give you a stale line here. Nets. All right. 232.5. So actually, my favorite bet's the under. Give me the under at 232.5, and I'm taking the Nets at plus 3.5. Next game, Milwaukee Bucks on the road in Portland here. Blazers catching 9.5 points at home. The total sitting at 236.5. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet and check this out. According to the model, Blazers should win outright. Final score 116-115 Portland. Let's talk injuries, and we got nothing for Milwaukee. As I'm recording this right now, there is nobody listed on the Bucks injury report. On the Portland side, Blazers are in pretty good shape also, though. They're completely good to go with the exception of Shadon Sharpe. Sharpe's been out for almost 3 weeks now. Betting trends for Milwaukee, these are disgusting. 3-12 against the spread in their last 15. What? 0-7 against the spread in their last 7 on the road. Under is 5-1 in the last 6 Bucks road games. Milwaukee just 2-8 against the spread in their last 10 against the Western Conference. On the Portland side, things are looking pretty positive here. 6-3 against the spread in their last 9, 8-3 against the spread in their last 11 at home, 9-4 against the spread in their last 13 against the Eastern Conference. As far as this particular head-to-head matchup, Portland's 3-1 against the spread in their last 4 against the Bucks, but they're just 1-6 against the spread in their last 7 home games against the Bucks. So Milwaukee has performed well here coming on the road to Portland. The under is 7-1 in the last 8 matchups between Portland and Milwaukee. So based on those trends, we probably don't even need to handicap the game. Just give me Portland plus the points and give me the under. I mean, that's what the trends point to. But no, we're not going to do that. Obviously, we're going to take a look here. We'll start with Milwaukee's offense. Bucks should have no problem getting to the foul line in this one. They're 5th in free throw rate in the last 10 games. Portland's defense is 26th. Portland's defense has struggled to defend the mid-range shot. They're 27th in efficiency in the last 10 games. Bucks have been shooting a lot of mid-range shots. They're 5th in frequency, 4th in efficiency. So another positive angle for Milwaukee. And we got another positive angle for Milwaukee when we look at the numbers in transition here. Bucks offense, best fast break team in the NBA efficiency-wise. They're first. Portland's defense, it's been a struggle. 29th in frequency, 26th in efficiency on the year. Blazers have been terrible against the fast break. There is one positive angle for Brooklyn's defense, though. What I didn't mention was Milwaukee also takes a lot of above the break threes. They're 8th in frequency on the season from that zone, above the break three. Portland's been good there all year. They're actually first in defensive efficiency against above the break threes, so that's huge. Bucks take a lot of shots from out there. Portland's got the best, as far as defensive efficiency, best numbers in the NBA on the year. On the other side of the court, nothing really jumps out at me here. Bucks have been fouling a lot in the last 10 games. They're 22nd in defensive free throw rate, while Portland's 8th offensively. So Portland should be able to get to the foul line themselves, but other than that, nothing really jumps out. No positive or negative. As far as betting this game, I mean, no question overall, this is a favorable matchup for Milwaukee, but how can we lay 9.5 points on the road with this Bucks team right now? 3-12 against the spread in the last 15, 0-7 against the spread in their last 7. They want us to lay damn near double-digit points, 10 points? There's no chance. I mean, I have to take Portland plus 9.5 here. I feel like I don't even have a choice. Give me the Blazers plus 9.5. I'll probably also play the under at 236.5. Like I said earlier, live show at 4 p.m. Eastern time. I'll have some guests on. We'll go through every single game and make our final decisions. If you're able to make it, we'd love to see you in the comments. If you want my top bets for all sports parlays of the day, or you want to join our Discord, head over to KyleKirms.com. The information is right there on the homepage. Let's have ourselves a good bounce back Wednesday night. Tuesday was not great to me. It's okay. We'll bounce back strong on Wednesday. Hopefully see you at the live show. Remember to bet responsibly, and I'll talk to you in the Discord.